Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're giving you the third part of our Week 6 fantasy football starts and sits. We're here to help you make all the right decisions on who you should keep in your lineup, who you should boot from it, and who's going to break your heart if you don't move them out. Let's start this fantasy football podcast right. Meow.
Hit that drop. Hello, everyone. I am Justin. That is Kyle. And this is the Fantasy Football Upside. Thanks for dropping by our Fantasy Football podcast and YouTube channel. We appreciate it. Week 6 is here. Looks like, well, as of right now, all the games are going to be played. That's right now.
Yeah.
Today, we are giving you the third and final part of our start-sit questions for Sunday and Monday games. So check out our second part by clicking the link in the corner above, Kyle Points. And also part 1 is in the description below. Kyle Points down there. What you got for me?
All right, guys, man, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, click the bell. That way you know every time we upload the podcast. It's the best fantasy football podcast there is, so you need to make sure that you're notified, guys. Moving on to week 6 here, make sure that you check the waiver wire for anything that's been dropped. There's been a lot of movement, a lot of things happening. People are having to make some really dramatic changes right now.
Yeah.
And let us know if you have any start-sit questions. We are always open and asking. So let's dive in head first into the shallow end and get started here on the final matchups that we have to cover for week 6. And the first one off the top is Green Bay versus Tampa Bay. Justin, it's going to be a fun one. I think it's the matchup of the oldies right there, right? I mean, there's only one quarterback that's missing from the league right now, or from this game in the league that's over there or up there, right?
Right.
Say oldies. I'm older than one of them in this. So,
gosh, you are old.
Yeah, old.
Yeah, old.
It happens. All right, so I'll take Green Bay here first.
Okay.
And starts are Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams. He is back. He's ready to smash, guys. He's going to kill it here. This is going to be a fun one. And Robert Tonyan, I'm saying start him. I think he's going to be a top 5 to top 6 play this week in tight end. I think so. There's a lot of reasons for that. First of all, Aaron Jones is a play because Vita Vea is out.
Yeah.
That's the number one reason that this defense for Tampa Bay has been able to stop running backs. And they've done a very good job of it, right? This is a really bad matchup for Aaron Jones. If you read all the statistics, all the numbers, right? And all the numbers. But if you pay attention to the injury report, you see that Vita Vea is gone. He ruptured something in his leg, right? He's done for the rest.
It was like a deck. He
got rolled up. He got rolled up sideways and all that. Yeah, it was a dislocation break.
Yeah.
And so he's gone for the year, guys. So I know that their backup for that spot isn't terrible, but he's definitely not Vita Vea, who's been crashing through offensive lines like crazy. Aaron Rodgers is obviously a start. He's playing at an MVP level right now. Whether or not people want to talk about it, he is. Devontae Adams is going to benefit from that, and he's back. It's going to be fun to watch what happens with him this week. But Robert Tonyan, I think, is a start here because the running game is going to be effective. And so a lot of what they're going to do is going to have the 12 personnel on the field, and that requires their tight ends to be on the field. And Tonyan is a run blocking tight end more than Jace Sternberger is. But he's also a pass catching tight end more than Mercedes Lewis is. Yeah. And so I think he's the direct beneficiary of an effective run game more than anybody on that team. And so I think that he'll have a decent game. He's not going to get 3 touchdowns. Don't bet on that. But if you can get 50, 60 yards plus possibly a TD out of him, you've gotten a great day out of him. That's definitely
in
top 5,
this
6
age when it comes to tight ends. I mean, you get 50, 60 yards and you're doing okay, actually. You don't even need the touchdown, but that's just the icing on the cake right now.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the game's in Tampa Bay, so you're not going to hear a whole lot of
oh, my God.
Every time they score. But, I'll be playing it. Just know I'll be playing it.
Yeah, in your head, hopefully. Poor Melissa.
Yeah.
All righty, so on to Tampa Bay. My starts, I have Ronald Jones, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Now, I'm going to go back up to the top here and talk about the QB. I would prefer to sit #Twommy in this matchup against this defense. May not have that option based off your team build, so If you have to, go ahead and start him. I just don't know if he's going to get you exactly what you're looking for out of a QB. So I'm starting Ronald Jones. Fournette did not touch the ball in week 5, and he was kind of a surprise active in week 5. But, I mean, you're still going to dress the guy, and you don't even touch the ball. So, and I just think Ronald Jones is better at this point. So I'm still going to fire him up. Mike Evans, just lead the leader in touchdowns right now with 6. So, might as well do that. He's got 6 on only 22 receptions. So
whoa. And I think 3 of those are from inside of 2 yards or less.
Yes, exactly.
So.
Exactly. And so it's like he's not going to be able to sustain that touchdown percentage.
I mean,
but I don't think it's going to stop right now.
He leads the league in slam dunks, right? I mean, those are slam dunks, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're alley-oops. That's what it is.
Jump balls, alley-oops, all those
alley-oops because he's scoring. It's a pass and he's scoring.
Oh, good Lord.
It's a short one. It's a short pass.
Jesus. Keep digging, buddy. Keep digging. Chris Godwin, welcome back. He's looking, I would start him because he's good to go and he's practicing in full right now. So if he was still limited on Friday's practice, but he was actually a full participant, so fire him up. And that's who I have. No tight ends to note in Tampa Bay.
I would just watch out for Chris Godwin to go back down again this week. There's some
the hamstring injuries, man.
Heavy hitters in that defensive secondary.
I know.
So guys who like to go, oh, you're hurt? Let me help you with that. Right. Like Adrian Amos. He's one of those guys. All right, let's move on here. We've got the LA Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. This is at the 49ers. All right, so see here. We've got some starts. This is out of order here. I don't know why that happened, but Cam Akers is a start in Superflex leagues. And Darrell Henderson's a start. Robert Woods is a start. Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, start all those guys.
Yep.
And that's primarily because San Francisco has just been a bad defense this year. They're so hurt. They should have Sherman back this week. So that might slow the pass game down a little bit, but he's not as fast as he used to be. And, look, Robert Woods is probably the guy he's going to be covering a lot, and Woods is a lot bigger than Sherman is. And, people don't necessarily know that.
A lot thicker.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely going to be able to post up. He's going to be running seam routes. He's going to be running curls, I bet, that sort of stuff. He's Mr. Consistency for 10 to 15 yards per catch, right?
Yeah.
I think that Henderson's a good start this week. I think it's okay. This backfield's kind of a mishmash. It's a little scary right now, but he's definitely the lead back at the moment. I mean, if you don't have any other options, really, you're kind of stuck, then sure, make that play. But if you've got 2 solid running backs, I would consider whether or not he even should be in a flex spot at this point.
Yeah.
I like Higbee. I think that this is a good opportunity here. San Francisco has not been very good against the tight end, actually. They've only done so. I think that might be partly because they have had to stretch that defense a little bit because Sherman has been out and because Bosa has is hurt. And so as a result, I think that this secondary is still a question mark as to whether or not they really are bad against the tight end or if it's just a circumstance of injury. All right. So what do you have for us here, Justin, on the Niners?
So for the 49ers, my starts are Raheem Mostert and George Kittle. And then I'll mention some other guys here or there just based off of, it's on the edge here. But Raheem Mostert, he's back. Reinsert him into your lineup as a high-end running back 2. Could be a running back 1 on certain weeks. George Kittle, he's going to be a top 2 option for the rest of the season. You set it and forget it. If you guys watch any of our stuff, you know how I feel about George Kittle. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Let me show how you feel.
Oh, yeah. There it is. I would still say Jerick McKinnon has a little bit of some flex appeal in PPR league, but Mostert is taking over when it comes to that snap share. I mean, even when he just came back last week off of injury, he was dominating that snap share. Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, they are really good players, but they are just too volatile to trust as a start. They're the exact same player.
Well, yeah, not only that, but it's a low pass volume offense. They don't want to throw it outside of the tight ends.
No, and then they sat Jimmy G. He came back a little too early, it seems like, from the high ankle sprain. And then they had Nick Mullins and then CJ Beathard, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just murderer's row of quarterbacks right now when it comes to the 49ers.
This could be one of those games where these guys are game scripted into value, right? Where the Niners get down and then they have to throw a lot. And CJ Beathard is a guy who can do that. I don't think Garoppolo can effectively do that. I think he's just dinking and dunking too much.
Yeah.
So if Beathard's out there, then it is possible that this is the kind of game where they fall back too far. And then in the entire second half, they're playing catch up, and Debo and Ayuk get a lot more valuable that way.
Yep. All right. So up next, we have the
good luck predicting that.
That's why I say it's just too volatile. Just stay away. We have Arizona Cardinals versus Dallas Cowboys. Kyle, why don't you go ahead and hit me with the Cardinals?
All right, with the Cards, I've got a couple starts here. We've got Murray, he's a start. Kenyon Drake is a flex-only start. And I'm still saying sit Chase Edmonds. I don't think that this has been figured out exactly just yet. I think that they still want Drake to provide the running back value, but that I think they're kind of finally coming to the conclusion that maybe Drake is not the guy that they were hoping that he was. DeAndre Hopkins is a start, obviously. And I think that this is a week that Christian Kirk gets back into the scheme a little bit here correctly. I think that they've been playing him out of position, and I think they've kind of realized that. He's not a very fast guy, and they've been trying to get him down the field for 30-plus yard passes through through the air. And he's not a super fast guy, actually. He's a guy who runs seam routes and goes 10, 12 yards down the field for the catch. He's a better route runner than he is a speed guy. And so he doesn't have the ability to get down the field and create that separation that's necessary for those sorts of plays. So I don't see him being that valuable beyond that. And I think they are going to kind of figure out, or started showing that they are figuring out. So what do you have for us there on Dallas?
On Dallas, I have Ezekiel Elliott is a must start, keep it moving. But here's the thing. Will McCarthy run it more now that Prescott is not under center? Is Zebra going to change your stripes? No. Okay. I just want to throw that out there for you.
Yep.
Amari Cooper is a start, but you might not be able to count on wide receiver 1 or maybe in wide receiver 2 numbers. I mean, you're probably right in the middle of a wide receiver 2. CeeDee Lamb, I think he may be the favorite target of the new QB, the Andy Red Rifle Dalton. And I think if someone has to take a back seat when it comes to that wide receiver room, somebody's going to have to, because I just don't think they can get it done efficiently when it comes to Andy Dalton compared to Dak Prescott. And I think it's going to be Michael Gallup, actually. So I just think it's going to be a little less efficient, a little bit lower volume in passing, and Gallup's going to be that player that has to take a back seat. But I am going to fire up Dalton Schultz. I feel like he is a top 12 play at tight end kind of moving forward. I mean, he's been putting it up there. So especially with this, we're got some bye weeks. The tight end position is so hard to come by, so hard to count on anything. So I think that's why you should still go ahead and fire up Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, I think that this offense is going to start to contract a little bit.
I think it
across
has
the board. Across the board, I think that you'll see more 8-man box against Zeke, and his numbers are going to drop as a result of that. I think they're going to try to throw a lot more, but I don't think that Dalton's going to be accurate enough, and so I have concerns about Cooper. I think that CeeDee Lamb is the best pass play in that offense at this point, and that Dalton Schultz is next. I think that Cooper is probably somebody that people should consider selling this year if you're not in some sort of if you're just in a redraft. He's somebody I would consider selling at this point, because though Mike McCarthy wants to throw a heck of a lot, if he doesn't have a QB who can get it there effectively and accurately, then I don't think it's a good system. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on here. We've got Kansas City versus Buffalo. This is, I think, our last game of the week, right? So let's talk about Kansas City. We've got Pat Mahomes. Obviously, start your studs, right? This is probably the start of the week right now for the QB, to be completely honest. The Bills have not been great against QBs. They've given up a ton of points to QBs this year, actually.
A little shocking about the Bills when it comes to their defense, when it comes to defense against the QBs.
Yeah, I mean, and that's partly why it's part of why Josh Allen is performing as well as he has been, is because they've been playing like track meets kind of stuff.
Yeah, he has to chuck it, man.
Yeah. So, and in fact, he's been running a whole lot less too. I don't know if people have been paying attention to that. His value is really high, but the problem that people are not paying attention to talk about Josh Allen, who's not one of the guys I'm talking about, right? The problem with Josh Allen is actually that his touchdown rate is unbelievable right now.
Right.
Like it's ridiculous. He's on pace for something like 65 touchdowns or something.
Well, it
That's
was like the
obviously
Lamar
not happening.
Jackson. It was like the Lamar Jackson last year when it comes to passing. Like his touchdown percentage was like 10%, which is unheard of. Like the
Yeah.
league average is 4.5, and Josh Allen's on that same trajectory. It's like, but when is it going to stop? It has to stop at some point.
Yeah, it does. And this is a secondary that look, this defense isn't great. The Kansas City Chiefs are not a great defense, but what they do have is a decent secondary. And Tyrann Mathieu is going to be watching Josh Allen and going for the ball a lot, I think, this week. But back to it here, we've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This could be the possible last time you're going to put him in your lineup going forward, unless you're going to put him in a flex spot because of the addition of Le'Veon Bell. But this is a good matchup, actually, for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This is the last chance for him to really kind of secure that spot, prove that he should have it. But look, we were actually talking about this before we started recording, that Le'Veon Bell, people are talking about, oh, he's old, he's washed up, he's, this or that. This is an incentive contract. He would not have signed an incentive-based contract unless he was told you're going to have the opportunity to fulfill your incentives. And so I don't think that it's likely he's not going to split time, at least with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He might get first and second down, but he is a pass catching back, so they might leave him on the field a lot.
Right.
So I think this is a problem for Helaire, who is just a rookie, and don't know what's going to happen there. Tyreek Hill hasn't been dominant this year, but he has scored, I think, a touchdown in every single game. He's just not he's getting like 20 to 40 yards instead of the 60 to 80 yards along with it. He's yet to break 100 yards this season, I believe. But this is a game where he might actually just blow up. This could be a possible big game for him. I'm not going to bank on it. I'm not going to bet on that, but it's one of those ones where he could wake up and finally go for 2 touchdowns and 120 yards or something. Mecole Hardman is going to play probably and be a value because Watkins appears to be out. And so this could be a good opportunity for Hardman. And then Travis Kelce, obviously you're going to start him. This is just another one of those start your studs type of plays, right? He is still dominant. He's going to still be dominant. He's going to stay dominant. And I yet to find a defense that's able to contain him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here in the wide receiver room with Sammy Watkins out for at least a couple of weeks with a hamstring injury. So I'm curious to see if, Mecole Hardman's kind of volume has increased lately. Yeah. And with this injury, I kind of hopefully he takes over that number 2. And I mean, he's talented.
I've watched some of the stuff recently from him, and I will say that he has definitely improved as a route runner. And he's a little bit bigger this year too. So he's playing a little bit bigger, and he's in the offense more. Like his plays seem a little bit more impactful more often. Like they're not looking to hit. They're not looking to hit some sort of trick play home run with him. It appears. Instead, they're relying on him for like wide receiver screens and things like that, where they are legitimately trying to get the ball to him in space, but it's not a gadget play. It's not a trick. They're not trying to fool anyone. They're just trying to get him to get there to get that first down. So,
Alrighty, for the Bills, I have Josh Allen. I still want to start him. He just had his worst game this season last week against the Titans, and he still finished as the 15th best QB. So he still got you some value. He is getting a weapon back, and I'll get to that here in just a sec. But I do want to mention Devin Singletary as a sit for me. He's just a desperation flex at this point. He was outplayed by TJ Yeldon. Jacksonville Jags fame, TJ Yeldon. And Zach Moss is going to be back most likely this week from a toe injury. So I just think the time has come for Devin Singletary to kind of, lose his role because he just has not looked good.
It's like we said, though, all of the summer long, we said Zach Moss is the lead back in that group.
And just toe injury hurt him. And then I think he's back. We'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, TJ Yeldon outplayed him. So up next, we have Stephon Diggs. He is a must start now, man. He's looking like a top 12 play for most of this year. And especially moving forward, I mean, he just put up a 16 target, 10 catches, 106 yards against the Titans, who are a good defense. So, I mean, those targets may come down with the return of this next player, and that's John Brown, who I mentioned, weapon coming back. He is practicing in full from a calf injury. He should give you some wide receiver 3 numbers, and you're still going to have Gabriel Davis kind of, mixed in here or there. He's not a startable guy at this point now because of John Brown being back, but kind of keep your eye on him. If you have room on your bench, go ahead and put him at the end of the bench just in case something happens.
Yeah, he's a good
John
stash.
Brown has been injured a little bit in his career, so it wouldn't be a bad thing to kind of keep him on the bench if you can. So
yeah. And if you're in a league that's not a redraft league, actually Gabriel Davis is a very good
a really good keeper league.
Yeah,
really
because John Brown's gone after this year, guys. They're gonna let him walk, and that's been made up very, very clear. Just like Juju is going to get his walking papers too. So
absolutely.
Those guys are going to be on the market, and it's going to be a good market this year. I think. There's going to be a lot of good value out there. So that'll do it for us here, guys. Make sure you get those start sit questions in the comments below, because we're always asking. Because we want to help out, guys. We want to help you get to that championship. I just accidentally tapped it again. Championship. We want to get you guys there this year. Okay. So
let us know.
Let
us know if you know where that drop is. Hit it one more time for me.
Yeah, one more time.
Let us know.
It's a good one. Yeah, we'll see. I will see if anybody can think of that one. But make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell. That way you're notified every time we upload the best fantasy football podcast on the internet. This concludes week 6 podcasts for us. We will see you when week 7 is ready to roll, guys. Have a good game this weekend, and hopefully you win. Bye.
See you guys.